okay? Not gonna lie. There will be some dark humor in this one. So, I have no choice but set the tone right from the start. Therefore, I'm just gonna put this here. Right? Alright. So, hello, I'm Server, and boy is this series something. Specifically, I have an episode in mind that is quite different than the rest. Episode 27. Yes, the recap episode. But it's not in the manga and it's not canon. It doesn't matter, because other than tying the series events together, since, you know, you need to remember some things that have happened in order to understand what is going to happen, it also brings together the themes of the series so far to prepare you for the future ones. Some of them are not made incredibly clear in the manga, so this episode really needed to happen. Besides fleshing out Hohenheim's character by contrast and similarity to Homunculus. Homunculus. Yeah, there is something there. Anyway, it provides clarity as to how some events transpired and tackles one of the biggest philosophical principles since 563, before Christ. So yeah, it's a pretty good episode overall. To be clear, I am talking about nihilism, a viewpoint that is the philosophical equivalent of Rick and Morty, meaning it is enjoyed by both edgy 14-year-olds and, to be fair, actual intellectuals. Nihilism. Nihilism is the philosophy suggesting denial of or lack of belief in the reputedly meaningful aspects of life. So, we are in for some light-hearted talk about whether or not life is meaningless. Fun stuff. Now, there are quite a few nihilisms, but Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood mainly focuses on existential and a little bit on moral. Those are the hot ones. Simply put, Homunculus in this sequence represents, among other things, nihilism itself. So getting right into it. In the episode, we see a big banquet with obvious hints that this is the resemble of the past. Homunculus appears and starts shitting on humans out of the blue. Just really dickish behavior all around. Nothing new. But he does have some points. Humans hide from the darkness and never stand up to it, meaning they don't confront unpleasant truths, most of the time even their own deaths, and just try to pretend as if everything is okay. I just can't understand why he would detest humans so much. He must be evil. In his own mind, he might as well make them useful for once.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
So, the episode continues, and as if to elaborate his opinion, we see a summary of how in his master plan, Homunculus has used humans and their lives as nothing more than a resource or a tool. Which, if you ask me, it's pretty objectifying in the more literal sense of the word. So, their lives, their actions, and even their souls, that's good news for some people, am I right? Are used by him and his followers with the same attitude as putting ingredients in a pot and discarding the leftovers. The Guardians at Lab 5, the people of Ishval, who were literally slaughtered by the thousands just for a piece in the puzzle, and some sweet philosopher's stones, and the countless killings all over the place in order to achieve their end goal, using all of the country's people as batteries. No, wait. Oh yeah. Batteries. It is at that point that Hohenheim comes to agree with Homunculus. He even repeats Last's words. Compared to Homunculus' vitality, humans are even more fragile than the self-image of Edward. Greed was able to take a sledgehammer to the face and be fine. All it takes for humans is a misstep to fall or a tiny blade to the wrong place and they are ruined. Also, there are some instances of low birth rate. Humans are fragile creatures, he laments. How could they stand up to the Homunculus? While the Homunculus are fucking ruthless. I am pretty sure Wrath didn't sob like a bitch when Mufasa died. But even if he cried, it wouldn't be a big deal, right? Everybody cries at the scene, right? Pinako's rebuttal is simple but meaningful. In other words, stubbornness, but also persistence, tenacity. Continuing the streak of genius directing, we see things that we need to know and also things that enforce Pinako's point. How Mustang stood up to last, literally and figuratively, even after he has been stabbed, literally and only literally. How Edward overcame the original greed after a continuous beatdown with seemingly no hope at sight, and every other victory of humans against fate and chaos. I mean, she cut off her own fucking hand to mislead Bradley. She didn't even hesitate. Boom! No left arm for the rest of your life, only for a chance of getting away. However, Hohenheim seems to have stuck to the first meaning of Pinako's words and continues down the path of darkness. Suddenly, Hohenheim's dark side appears and delivers his main point. Even if we struggle and achieve the impossible, victory against the homunculus, saving a mistress, humans will just die eventually, meaning the whole struggle would be meaningless. Why should he do anything? Would trying his best change how pitiful and weak humans are? Homunculus really makes it clear how little he cares about an individual human, going as far as calling them a renewable energy source. He devalues any worth that comes with a human life, and that's when Hohenheim truly descends into darkness. Wait, pause. All this time Hohenheim has been fighting with himself, or more accurately, himself has been fighting with himself. Okay, I feel a need to elaborate. It's a bit trippy. Roughly speaking, he's split into two parts. Let's call them the light side and the dark side. The light side is represented by Pinako, and the dark side by Homunculus. Whoever is winning is depicted by Hohenheim himself. The whole episode is a representation of Hohenheim's life. At this point, Homunculus has deconstructed Pinako and the light side, meaning Hohenheim has lost his goodness and his hope. Only darkness and chaos resided in him. A hollow monster with millions of souls within him and no purpose to guide him. When talking with Pinako, he refers to human traits as your traits, meaning for a time he did not even consider himself human. And unpause. Right when Hohenheim has plunged into darkness, a young Trisha Elric grabs him by the hands as if to save him from drowning, and delivers the strongest answer to Homunculus' kind of nihilism. Nihilism states that since we eventually die and sink to insignificance, then everything is meaningless. But Trisha says otherwise. It is only because of death that we are able to ascend from our weak, pathetic selves. Since our days are numbered, we have an incentive to get off our asses and become stronger and better and achieve greatness. If you could always do it tomorrow, then why do it today? Well, because your time is limited, and that makes it valuable. So, other than the major no you that Trisha Eldrick pulled, at that point she also says something very interesting. It's not mentioned in this episode, but Hohenheim tried to make himself mortal when he was a resemble. He tried to give his life meaning by knowing for sure that he will die someday. This immortal being wanted to experience life in its entirety by living with his loved ones and dying along with his wife. And that's it. This video ends. What do you think? Did I overthink this? Does any of this make sense? I don't mean the video. I mean life. Did you like it? I don't mean life, I mean the video. Leave your thoughts in the comments and figure it out yourselves. I'm not your mom, so, you know, whatever. I mean, I'll read them, but this laid-back voice can talk about, you know, can't wait to read your comments, guys. Even though I do. The whole episode is a representation of Hohenheim's life, and at this point, Homunculus has deconstructed. The whole episode is a representation of Hohenheim's life, and the whole episode is a representation of Hohenheim's life. The whole episode is a representation of Hohenheim. The whole episode is a representation of Hohenheim. The whole episode is a representation of. The whole episode is a representation. The whole episode is a representation of Hohenheim.